So if we do it in stages, I do the bottom tenon first, do the outside, the inside, polish it, and then go back. We'll go back in another step and remove that bottom tenon. Goes a little bit more efficient. Hey, Julio, Pilado, and Big B, thanks for stopping in. These little bowls are some pieces of cherry. This is just freight dunnage that I got from work. I've also got some more pear cut. Just depends on how much time I have. I wanted to try these. It was like a piece of 2x3 and see how they come out because I have a ton of it. I love cutting the fruit woods. Cherry, apple, pear. This is tough. I'm trying to avoid my camera rig that's right where I want to be. Pretty good. Osman. said hi. Thanks for stopping in. Feel free to ask any questions or anything like that. Have a couple woodworkers in, I'm sure. Not that I'm an expert. And I'm not spending a ton of time sanding. These will be like little trinket buys at a show or something. Maybe $5, I don't know. I don't do the shows. My daughter wants to start and requested tiny bowls. Not tiny, little bowls. Alright, and that's it. Never turn it off. The fewer times you can turn it off and reset, the more money you make. I think. Never tried it, but we'll see. Always put the lid back on your abrasive paste. What else we got? A lot of names I'm having trouble with, so bear with me. Asa, Planetina is kind of gross, so I'll give you some time to think about that. What is it about the fruit woods that makes you like it more than others? I like that it's like carvable. The grain, it's not super grainy. I think it might be cross-linked, they call it. I'm not a wood expert. I think it's cross-linked, so it's more carvable. It sands really smooth. It's not really hard to cut, but it is a hardwood. I don't know. It doesn't smell. Yeah, wax. It's beeswax and mineral spirit, or mineral oil. Beeswax, mineral oil, and diatomaceous earth. And it puts a little abrasiveness in it to give it some polish, and puts the wax in there a little bit deeper. And then I'm finishing up with my round carbide, just so it kind of doubles as a scraper and goes a little bit faster. Hey Mike, did Palantina come back and say something? Oh gee. Some people have some problems. Five minutes isn't long enough, I guess. Oh, okay. Yes, more small bowls. Trying some different wood. This is just some cherry dunnage from work. It just sands so easy. So easy. Some wood you just fight with and fight with. Yeah, and this is just beeswax, mineral oil, and diatomaceous earth. Give it a little bit of a polish. And then all you have to do is oil it every once in a while with some mineral oil, or you could put carnauba wax on it, anything like that to get it to shine again after a couple years or a couple months. All right. I've got a couple more rough blanks, but I think I'm going to switch to taking off the tenons. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 bowls now that all are roughed out. I just need to take off the tenon, so I'm going to transition into that. Yeah, cherry. I love the fruit woods. I haven't had apple in a while, but that's pretty good too. Alright, so I'm going to put this. This is my transition piece. I have a piece of soft rubber material that will go on there, and then each bowl will center up as good as we can on that, and we'll take that tenon off. But first we'll put this live center in. It has the point. Makes it a little bit easier to carve around it. Get this centered up. And it's just the pressure holding it on. And we don't turn very fast. If you just put the tip in a little bit, spin it, you can see how it's spinning, and you just kind of slide the bottom and get it nearly perfect. Alright, I'm going to slow down to 500 because I don't want that flying off. And then I'm going to undercut that so that it sits flat. So I put my straight edge on there. I can see a gap, so we're good. Should be able to catch it. The bowls are very small, so it fell off. But if the pressure, usually the pressure of the tool will hold it on, but these are too small to do that. Alright, so luckily we're only spinning 500, so it didn't get dinged up. But we got a little bit of sanding on the bottom, polish the bottom, and that one's done. Put the next one on. one's gonna fight us. We just have to deal with it. A little bit of out of round doesn't hurt because we're just taking that step off. That might be too much. That one's getting ready to come off on its own. So we'll just knock that off, sand it. That one will be done. Little bowl. A little bit of manual work afterwards, but not too bad. Todd is in. Diatomaceous earth. I like to do some clearing cuts and then a finish cut and then a scrape, just in case it flies off. Whatever's cut is done. So that seems to work pretty good. Alright, now we're switching to the pear. See what that looks like. These are a little bit bigger, I think. Very much stronger wood. So it's not going to go as fast. Yes, finishing and editing kind of go together. It took me forever to edit that fish bunker video. I will say, though, that trying to edit live videos into full-length non-live videos is hard because you have to edit out all the talking. Oh, the last 3 bowls were maple. They were the ones I did first the other night. They were much softer. I forgot to mention that. The last 3 that I cut the ends off. So it's a tricky balance between having your tool open and scraping closed and then cutting in. Without losing that piece. And then I come back and look kind of sideways. Make sure I'm undercutting it. It actually wasn't that much harder than the maple. More difficult. I love how these cut. They cut very nice. Alright. That is pear. This one's really meaty. Just a shallow one, left it pretty thick. But I like it. I like them to have some weight to them. one's kind of tough because it's got a bark inclusion in it, and it wants to hang up there. But we have plenty of material to work with, so I can cut around it. I'm not worried about punching through. No funnels in this lot. Anybody in the chat who's got a YouTube channel, feel free to mention it. Kim Styles is in. Anyone else new? Hugo Geminiani. Hugo is in. Try the AI editors. The AI editors, those ones that split your video up into like 10 shorts, I didn't care for it. It missed. I would say if you have a talking video, it will use the AI probably better. If you're making something, it doesn't get it. It doesn't get like a natural break in the action. Oh, shoot. It's not that smart. So I wasn't really. I did a trial on one and wasn't terribly thrilled with it. Didn't buy it. I had another company want me to try theirs, but I don't know. I like to put more thought into it. Like I said, I think the talkies are easier to do that with. So these, I actually still have the dimple from the tool, but I gotta get this side straight because these are fitting inside my, you know what we might be able to do with these, because they're smaller. Take this off. Close up our jaws. Oh, dang, it's gonna scrape it. Shoot. That won't work. These bowls are a little too small. These are the ones we made out of cherry. A little too small to fit on my setup here. That might work. Just a small little jam chuck. There we go. I don't want to do it too tight. Don't want that to split out, but that'll work. These are cherry. So the first group we did, these were maple. These are pear. And then this one that's on here is cherry. So you're talking about subs. Hey Jay, nice to see you from Salisbury Crafts. If everybody could go sub to Salisbury Crafts. Help each other out. We need 3 people to sub to Salisbury Crafts so he can do live streams. Plus, I'm wondering, Jay, if there's something wrong with your channel. We need 3 people to prove that there's nothing wrong with the channel, that YouTube does not have it locked down. I'm subbed on multiple channels. That was a nice finish cut there. All right, another one down. Hold my setup here. Go. Robert Clark is in. Thanks for stopping in. Did you get 50? Nice. Nice, Jay. Mike Stanifer says you got 50. Who's this? Narsima? Lotto Creations. Okay. I was watching Maddie. Oh, there's Goobug. Check out Goobug's YouTube. He is making some fantastical pieces. Like, I can't even explain how amazing these things are. You have to see them. He made a bunch of posts. I don't know, yesterday or today. And the finished pieces are just amazing. hour. You know, about 20 more minutes till the boss gets home. It's dinner time. Should be able to finish all of these. Steve Flanagan is in. Thanks for stopping in. Just making some little curio bowls. All right, now we're going to put the sanding mandrel on. So anything really you can put in there. If you have a big bowl, you might need a bigger piece. I use this one for the larger bowls. I had to use this one for the smaller. So there's always different options. Wood turning is a lot about problem solving, figuring out how you're going to get where you need to be. How am I going to hold the piece? Usually doing the actual turning isn't as hard as figuring out how you're going to hold it. Alright, so I'm going to put, instead of putting the piece on the lathe, I'm going to put the tool on the lathe. Our sanding mandrel. Oh, I could have zoomed out for all that. Sorry. Let's go this way. Okay, where did I put my... There it is. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is lop off those ends. Shouldn't be too hard. I always go so you can see where the grain is, going this way. Instead of going that way and cutting the side, I always go with the grain. I think it nips off easier. Kind of hard to do without something holding it. But anyway, so that's all we're left with. and then we'll sand it off. Speed back up a little bit. Alright, so the goal is not to leave any marks where someone could say, oh, that was on a lathe. No tenons, no nothing. And that sits flat. So we'll polish that up. Won't take very long. I'll do that off camera. Nobody wants to see that. Alright. This one. Try to do this one so you can watch. Alright, this cherry sands pretty easy. It must be a very soft, like a new tree type. But there you go. So this one had that crack in it. I don't know if you remember from the other night, but you really can't notice it too bad, but I am gonna sand it. It feels, you can feel that edge. Just kind of take that edge off. That's all I want to do. Alright. These are going pretty quick. There's not a lot of sanding. When you leave just that little piece on it, it's not a lot to sand. So I should have put some sandpaper on these corners before I took them off, but I forgot. So I have to do that by hand. Now, a big fancy bowl I probably wouldn't put and hit against the lathe, but these are so small, they're very durable. And I made all the walls are pretty thick. There's nothing nothing fragile about these. Alright, so here's the thing. I might need some help pricing these. If anybody has seen anything like this, or if you would buy something like this, what would you pay for that? Just some ballparks. Nobody's held to anything. So we've got 95 likes so far. I don't know. Pilado, sometimes it sticks on what it was when you came in. If we can get 5 more, get to 100. It's not a record. We've hit 100 before, but maybe twice. That would be awesome. Just as we finish up. Yeah, these came out pretty good. So I made 8. Just less than 10% of my goal. And it really took like an hour and a half the other night and just over an hour today to do 8. So that's what? We'll say 2.5 hours divided by 8. I can't do that math. Is that like 25 minutes each? That seems like a lot. 15 minutes, probably about 15 minutes each to get 8 of them. Now, I do think that today went a lot faster. So I did 3 tenons first and then cleared out 3 because I did all of every piece of these 3. These 5, I still had to do the bottoms. So I think it went a lot faster. I need to do a assembly line type next time again. think I'll do that. Honey locust. I've done black locust and I haven't noticed it. The only thing I noticed is it smells like cat pee. But other than that, it didn't bother me. All right. Who else is in it? Abraham? I didn't see an Abraham. Yuli is in. I'm scrolling back up through. Richard McCann. All right. How you doing, Richard? Steve Flanagan said hi. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for coming in. This was just impromptu. I had some time. Middle of the day here. It's just now 8 o'clock. Just now 8 o'clock, and I'm going to get a shower and get ready for bed. Maybe eat dinner when Mrs. Bailey gets home pretty soon. And we will see you probably not tomorrow night, but Friday night. We'll do some more little bowls or tops. We'll do something. Yeah, we'll do something. All right. List these for $20. You think these? Or a whole set? Like these 3 for $20? These 3 for $20? That seems like a lot. Expensive large ones to draw them in. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make some big ones or not. I don't really have great wood right now for that. I got a lot of other little things. So. Alright, guys. Hey, we're going to... Raha Binde Gohana is in. Thanks for stopping in. All right, we're gonna call it. Thanks for coming in. We had good success. Finished 8 bowls that I can put in a box and see what I can do with them. So, anyway, thanks for coming in. Watch for us on Friday.